Hello everyone, and welcome to the North American Star League. This is Season 4, Week 4, Division number 5. There's a floating shoe trying to tell me that, guys, it is Division 5. But, guys, we are sad to report that we have no games today. But that's okay, because we're still here for the roundtable. I am Frodan. You can call me Dan.
And I'm Andre. You can call me Grey Torp. Yes, Frodan, I'm so sad about that. But, you know, things happen. We'll be straight up with you guys. It's like by chance that this happened. Not by our chance, but like by just chance that all of this, like the world is like, no, we can't have this division today. But
that's right, there's too many awesome games that would have happened today in one place. The world just needed a break from it. Exactly. Everything has been postponed or rescheduled, so we're gonna we'll unravel those announcements as the things come. But
you know what that tells me though, Dan? It tells me that these players are busy. They're most likely busy with other tournaments. Like
Night was just, he placed second at the ISCF in Korea. That was really cool. He lost to Monchi, the Austrian Protoss player. And those are all just like, it's just one of the events culminating after another. And that's just because we have so much stuff going on in StarCraft 2. Right. And as a result, we're going to host a roundtable hosted by Clutch. Clutch, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, gentlemen and lady?
Hello.
I'm joined by Lauren to my left, of course, Mr. Bitter and Rotterdam as well, and Frodan and Greetorp. It is very unfortunate about the games. We apologize, like the caster said, but we're going to talk about a couple topics here regarding esports and StarCraft. And afterwards, we're going to have a rebroadcast of the Stefano versus Lucifron game that was casted for the Homecraft event, which I think was a great success. Take loved it. The people in Europe loved it. Both sets of casters were able to cast it. Gentlemen, how did you think it went? Mr. Bitter, Rotterdam?
I think it went very well. Thank you. I've had a lot of fun casting the games. Doing stuff with Dennis is always fun because the German StarCraft team is very passionate. They're very supportive as well of their national casters. Because of the audience?
No, because of the camera. It's like first it was on Clutch and Lauren, and then it changed, and you couldn't see you again, and then it changed again. Finally, we can see you, Roddy.
I'm here, guys.
So you're not just like a voice from behind the stage.
But I just want to share my thoughts, man. I like to share my thoughts.
No, I was enjoying your thoughts.
Okay.
I was just giggling because they were coming from nowhere.
Okay. So what I tried to say is that I've always enjoyed doing stuff with Dennis because Dennis is an awesome guy. And yeah, we had great games. I was a little bit sad that Scarlet was not able to make it against Titan. I still personally really enjoy the PvP series, as I always enjoy high-level PvP. As Sage replaced Scarlet. But Saturday, certainly, Lucifron vs Titan was amazing. And today, despite the series between Naniwa and Nurture being one-sided, if you enjoy great PvP play, you always have to enjoy Nurture. So I feel good about what we do.
Oh, your mic's dying.
Your mic's dying, Roddy. We'll have to share mics between you and Mr. Bitter.
Won't be the first time we've shared a mic, Kev.
Here, catch.
The stream never.
I'm just kidding. Imagine.
Stream never heard what you said, Kev, so you may have to repeat everything you just said.
I talked about rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And unicorns.
So I love unicorns.
It was awesome.
Remember Robot Unicorn Attack?
Yeah.
Always.
That song is so good.
Be with you. We should cast that today.
Robot Unicorn.
Okay, who'd get the top score?
You know what? I think that's actually a game that I could cast.
Yes.
It is a game you could cast.
That's totally a game that I could cast. And our wonderful boss, Russell Pfister, taught me actually how to play that game.
Robot Unicorn?
Yes.
You played Robot Unicorn?
I have actually played Robot Unicorn.
Nerd cred. What
Hello.
the hell?
What's
Where did this girl come from? What was your high score?
I'm looking over at my boss. I'm like, what is my?
We wrote it down somewhere. We'll
It was what's the max score? I'm like Grandmaster.
It was in like the 500,000.
Is there a max? There is no max.
It was over 9,000.
I was like, I was so good that at the end there was just nowhere else for the unicorn to go, so it just
Lauren,
exploded.
We actually have the ability to make you put your money where your mouth is.
Yes,
there is
you
a Robot
do.
Unicorn on the computer.
Really?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Anyways, before we there's a word for diverge, digress. Before we get too far off on this digression, we should talk a little bit about StarCraft and about the North American Star League. As today, Division 5 not going to be happening, unfortunately. We're all very sad about that. Those games will all be rescheduled, replayed at a later time. But we can take a moment just to remember the first 4 weeks here in Season 4 and talk about who's winning, who's losing, who's happy, who's sad, and who's awesome and who's not. I nominate Greetorp for awesome and Frodan for not.
Wow.
It's too mean to concur with that. I deny any commentary on that.
So does Dan.
Too busy scoring higher than you, Lauren. And
So we're going to try to get the Division 1 standings up on the screen for you fine folks at home, just so we can provide a little bit of. There's the Division 1. And look at
Team Polt.
Team Polt Beast Mode. I don't think anybody's that surprised to see Polt playing well. Jump in anytime now, guys.
I wouldn't say so either. Polt's actually always been underrated.
I think this division is actually progressing exactly how people thought. It's a little bit unfortunate with Morrow. That's the only thing. I don't think really people expected Morrow to go 0-4, but yeah, that's it.
I would like to talk a little bit more about Polt, because I mean, saying that it's surprising to see Polt play well is of course not really true, because Polt is a fantastic Terran player and has had so much success, not even only in the foreign scene but also in the Korean scene back then. But still, his win over Dongregul, guys, that was something. Yeah. I don't think there are that many people out there who would say like, oh, Polt's going to beat Dongregul. Of course, that's one of those things, it's possible, but
I picked him. I picked Polt.
Well, Frodan, your knowledge is unmatched.
No, I actually flipped a coin and picked Polt.
I don't know if this microphone's working, but if it is,
I don't think it is, man.
I hope it is.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
No.
I can't hear you. But that's not
That's
necessarily
kind of bitter.
the worst part of my day.
The one I can't hear.
Why so salty, Frodan?
What?
Well, I think that segues right into one of the big surprises in the group, though, and that is Dongregul, who's 1-2. Not 1-2 because he's been losing a lot, 1-2 because he's not been playing so much.
Yes, he got walked over once and he lost once. So he's played 2 out of his 3. And the other one, I think, he did get a week off, right? So that's the 3 games. So 1 and 2 is not unrecoverable, but it's really hard to win your division when you're 1 and 2, especially when Polt's 4-0.
And you know, guys, I also think a surprise that we didn't really mention yet is Masa. I mean, Masa 2-1.
Oh, yeah, you're
How
right.
many people would have predicted that?
And especially against the players that he played against. He beat out Alive. And he also beat out Morrow.
Yes.
Pretty impressive wins, I would say. I mean, Morrow 0-4 really doesn't do him respect. He actually made it to the Season 2 finals, which shows you his range of skill. I think Morrow just falling off because he's been playing a little bit too much Heart of the Swarm, but still, I mean, that 0-4 record, it really doesn't do him justice.
He did just join a new team, too, so I mean, scheduling and whatnot and paperwork and communication might have taken up a lot of his time because of that. But being a pro player, you know, your first priority should be the game. It should be playing. But we're excited for him in his new team.
Yeah, I think Gritorp is spot on. It's Morrow is kind of like TT1 in this regard. They are both playing an extreme amount of Heart of the Swarm, just trying to get ready for the game as soon as possible. Morrow is just someone who's really ready for the switch. He's been on top of the scene in the very early days, then switched to Zerg, had his success, but I wouldn't say was never as dominant as he was with Terran. Right now he's just clearly playing a lot of Heart of the Swarm, but I still believe in the skills of Stefan Andersson, which is the real name of Morrow, and I know that we're going to see him shine. I'm not sure if it's going to be this season of the NASL.
Morrow's also playing Terran in Heart of the Swarm, so he's playing hundreds and hundreds of games of sort of his off race. Yeah, he still plays TVZ in Wings of Liberty, but it's like it's just a different mindset, I think, especially since Terran is very different in Heart of the Swarm beta. Ain't that right, Kevin?
That's very right. I do not want to talk about it.
And let's also talk about another thing. Morrow, 100% loss rate. Hasuops, too. He's doing terrible. 100% loss rate as well.
0-1.
I know. It's just a joke, guys. That's
Are those pink flamingos on your tie?
Yes, those are pink flamingos on my tie. You want to get close up? Want to get close up?
They look good.
Go ahead.
He has pink flamingos on his tie.
Yeah, you like that.
Look at that body.
They're dancing.
Oh, girl, look at that body.
That's a good shimmy, Gritorp.
Wow.
It's a great shimmy.
You've got some talent. We'll have to hone that talent.
I've shimmied in my days.
It's fantastic.
Let me tell you.
Wow.
From here, it kind of looks like
How'd you pay for
bacon
college,
bits.
Andre?
Bacon bits.
It does. They're the same color, spontaneously scattered throughout your tie.
Well, speaking of bacon bits,
Speaking of
Barbie,
bacon bits,
can you come up on stage?
I think we have
Look
a
at
little
this.
surprise.
Yeah.
I just say it and she comes. Thank you,
Wow.
Barbie.
Wow.
Speaking of bacon ties, we have these wonderful bacon ties.
Are those? Can
And
I?
I am
Can I
never
see a
gonna
bacon
do
One
that.
tie?
for you.
Yeah.
Bacon
Dan, let me
ties.
see.
Oh.
You have to
What's
throw
a
it
bacon
over the
tie?
table.
Nice.
Man.
Well, it's the
I know you will.
Can we show this?
It's the pre-cooked bacon, though.
This right here.
It's not the
It
brown
doesn't
bacon.
get any more legit
It's the pink.
Then this. This is a straight up bacon tie.
It's either this or like
Here we go.
Yoshi's tongue got driven on by a truck or something like that.
That is a bacon tie, especially right here. It's so bacony.
And if you eat it, you'll get botulism.
So bacony.
Yeah.
I wanna.
I heard a funny joke.
Real bacon, that'd be pretty cool.
From Jim
like, get
Gaffigan.
hungry on a cast, just
Oh,
eat
you guys
our
are putting them
guys.
on.
You guys heard Jim Gaffigan?
I've never.
Okay, one of my favorite comedians. He has this whole monologue about bacon, and he says that if you sprinkle bacon bits on a piece of bacon, you'll actually go back in time to the last time you were eating bacon.
Oh.
That's a nerdy bacon joke. All right.
Alrighty, guys. This was Division 1. As we said, we still have a couple of games to make up for, but
Yeah.
it's getting there. Andre, it's getting there.
Yes, sir.
So it would be nice if we could take a look at Division 2 now as well. Of
I want
course.
to give a shout out to Huck as well, who's 3-0.
Yes.
He did beat some pretty good people. He beat Red, who also picked him in the division. That's a nice thing.
Definitely.
And Huck's turning a corner. He also has qualified for the final stage of MVP Invitational.
He's
he
been doing
beat
great.
Bisu 2-0.
I saw that. It was awesome. This is Division 2 as it is right now, guys. Select surprisingly on top. He did get one walkover win over Naniwa, but still won his first 2 best of 3s, which is awesome for him. Hyun is, I believe this is not updated yet, Hyun is 3-0 right now, as he also defeated Oz. So Hyun basically with the same record as Select, 3-0 and plus 5 points, or plus 5 in map score.
As much as I like Select, though, he's beaten Cloud and TLO at the bottom of the division, so he's hard as opponents. Like, I want to see Select play against Puma, Hyung, and then even like Zenio and Oz. And
I want to
how he
see
fares off.
Select play against Idra and see how that faces off.
And that's a spicy ban.
Yeah, some controversy there.
Yeah, a little bit of controversy. I don't know if we want to talk about that, but that's
I wonder
That'd
who
be
would
really cool.
release the first Kraken in that match.
What?
There's more than one Kraken?
I actually don't understand your sentence.
Munchie gets it. Somewhere Munchie is laughing. Select, yeah, he's playing well, but his toughest opponents are ahead of him. Hyun, on the other hand, has played against all his toughest opponents already, so it's only going to get, I think, easier for him.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually, Ben. Hyun so far has played against Oz, has played against Puma, has played against Zenio. And we already said that this guy is a monster and he's going to do well. But if you start off beating perhaps the 3 toughest guys in your division, I think in a week or 5, this division is going to look really good for Hyun. But we'll see. The season is still long, and hey, players like TLO might be able to upset him as well, because TLO is still a fantastic Zerg as well, and he's practicing so hard in Korea. But Hyun is, in my eyes, a clear favorite for this group.
That's a crazy group, man.
Yeah, I'm really sad to see Cloud down at the bottom. I had hoped that this would kind of be the season of Cloud. I still think he can make a bit of a run here near the end of it, and maybe, just maybe, keep himself safe for Season 5. But it's starting to look pretty grim for Carlo, as it is for TLO. Both those guys, 0-3, both those guys with quite the fan base. It'll be sad to see either of them out of the league, and there's a good chance that at least one of them is going to be gone soon.
I agree. And it wasn't even like as if Cloud has his hardest opponent yet, because he played against Select and then he played against Galaxy, and then last week it just seemed like Naniwa just had his number with 2 4-gates in a row. So, and I feel like, you know, after watching the Cloud profile, you can really identify that he does really want to play the game right, and it's definitely sad to see. But at the same time, it's like when you look at the other people in divisions, like who can really Cloud match up well if he can't beat those guys. I think TLO is beatable for sure. Because I think he can go either way. But then how does he beat someone like Hyun? How does he beat someone like Puma, who's awesome TVT?
It'll definitely be a very tough road. And
I think he's just having a rainy day.
I think that's it too, Lauren.
You know what, Lauren?
You
You're
know,
right.
Cloud's just having a rainy
It's
day.
Justin.
All rains pass,
Lauren.
and the sun comes out again.
Jumping over to Division 3. We can see that it's Violet up on top alongside Hero, Alicia, Season 2
beautiful.
runner-up,
Thank you.
hanging in there. MMA doing very well. Like, this is a super stacked group, guys, and I don't think any of the results are too surprising. Koreans on top, foreigners on the bottom, and you know it's really going to be a slugfest for first place. I do think Hero and Violet play next week. Is that correct?
No, I don't think that's it. I think Hero plays
Dark.
I know he plays a Zerg, I think.
Okay. Well, that'll definitely be a big match to look forward to. Man, this is such a tough group. Alicia has really got to be hating life after his after season 3, where he was so dominant. Now he's got an exponentially harder group to deal with.
No doubt about that. I also think it's surprising to see Lowly clearly at the bottom, as Lowly was sort of the story of our Season 3 for a long time. And even outside of the NASL, Lowly has been performing so well, as he won the combined regionals back then for WCS without dropping a single map. And then at the WCS Grand Finals, I mean, everybody was focused so much on the big names and the stories we had over there. I mean, Stefano winning that tournament without even really practicing and showing up late, fantastic. Lucifron and Vortex being fantastic. And then we look below and we said, wow, Baby Knight, one of the best Protosses, Grubby, fantastic run. But you know, in between those guys, there was Lowly who took 4th place in the tournament.
He outplaced Nurchio, outplaced Red, outplaced Thorzane.
Yeah,
I mean, anyone else didn't even get to WCS Europe.
It was sick. That's a really, really great performance, and people didn't really shine a whole lot of light on that. But that was the best result that Lowly has ever had in StarCraft 2. So I think it's surprising to see him performing poorly in NASL Season 4. While we know that he takes the league very seriously, while we know that he really tries to win his games.
He does. Yeah. Even when you cast his games, you see like he prepares certain build orders based off what he knows his opponents do, even down to like scouting patterns and stuff. He actually read it perfectly. And then he goes into like the mid game with advantages and just seems to throw away at like the wrong times, and just he seems to have an advantage and it's just kind of bobbles it. And it's really sad to see because Lowly is now 0-4, but he's lost all of his games. He hasn't won a single game.
Yeah, really super tough spot for him to be. And also a tough spot for Ganzi, who is he's 1-3 right now, and I really feel like we're seeing maybe the end of his era. There was a time when people were putting Ganzi as one of the top Terrans in the world. I think it's pretty clear that that better players have risen up, but how far has Ganzi fallen? He's having a really, really hard time in this division in Season 4 of the NASL.
I mean, Ganzi's injured, and there's no secret that when you usually when you leave Korea, I mean, the practice schedule are a lot looser and stuff. And I don't know Ganzi's practice schedule and everything, but I mean, we see how much injury can even stop MVP, and MVP's still winning regardless of that. And that just shows how superhuman. That just shows how superhuman he is. But like, Ganzi has those injury problems, and he has internet problems too. So like, those kinds of things are really hard to work. And I mean, when we have internet issues, we are like really bad. But combine that with injury, it's just it's a tough situation. That's why my heart goes out to him, because Ganzi does have a lot of talent. He converted from Brood War and was a great Terran talent there, and it's just sad to see him drop like that.
Yeah, I don't think the first couple weeks were an accurate representation of his play, just because I feel like his internet was affecting him so substantially. I mean, it was like clear indicators when I was watching the replays that he just wasn't doing actions that just like not even pro gamers would do. Top Masters players would do that. And it's like, oh, stim your units before you go in, and he like waits 2 seconds. And I feel like even though I don't know for sure if it is lag or if it's him just not caring or not being on top of the ball, I think it is the fact that Ganzi needs a little bit more time until we actually judge him. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully he does well.
Now, there were some ridiculous moments, like the Banelings were rolling into his Marines and then he'd stim kind of thing. Like, it was just so super delayed where it just it's inexplicable, I think. Is that the right word, Ben?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And
see? English is pretty good.
And Alicia even got a perfect game off of Ganzi. I mean, he was doing some weird actions to begin with, like attacking at the weird times, but when it came down to it, it was like, what is going on with your units, man? You don't know what you're doing with them. And lag is like the most obvious attributable cause.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move over to Division 4. We can see how that one is stacking up, and we can see MC is probably not that surprising of a name to see at the top of that list. But look at Vibe, the American champion, North American runner-up in WCS Continental Finals. Vibe is unbeaten right now. He has most of his truly difficult opponents ahead of him, but he's playing some fantastic StarCraft right now.
Okay, I want to step in really quickly. This is the perfect example of how you do not take statistics and apply it to a player when you're playing a game like this. The samples aren't independent. If I actually look at all the seasons of NASL, I would say Vibe is going to be at the bottom of the group yet again, because he has not been able to break 500 in any of the seasons of North American Star League. This season, he's 3-0. He's 100% win rate, which is not a big deal, but you can see recently he's been performing so well. Of course, I'm a little bit biased because he's one of my dear friends, but he's been performing so well. He's been placing top, first in WCS NA, second in WCS, or excuse me, second in WCS NA, first in WCS USA. He's a guy that I really feel like he's going to go far, and I'm looking forward to his next match actually in week number 5.
Do you know he's playing?
MC.
Yes.
Ooh.
My match to look forward to.
I know.
I've known Vibe for a while, just through association, because he used to be on like a bunch of like the mini clans in North America, never really made it big, and watching him ascend through the ranks is really cool. Yeah, if you look up Vibe's stats in TLPD, like everything's below 50%. It's like 40%, 42%, 44%. And you're like, you think based on paper this guy's performance isn't good, but you look at his recent stats of who he's been able to match up with and how much Root relies on him as a key anchor player, if not the ace, as an ESFI world.
The second,
ESFI said Vibe, the ace.
The substitute ace. Excuse him, the substitute ace.
Wow. It's sad to know that ESFI is misformed this much.
I would hope Vibe, to be completely honest. I think...
have you seen MC do the Gangnam Style?
I have.
Yes.
If I were going to give fair odds, I would actually give like 70-30 in favor of MC, but I want Vibe to win so bad.
What do you think,
no
Dan?
bias.
I
think it's almost it's gonna be really tough. I actually talked to Vibe, and he thinks, does he have a chance to beat MC? And Vibe's just hoping to take one game off of him. He says that he thinks he can beat MC once. He doesn't know if he can beat him twice, because it's not just MC's execution, it's his builds. It's the fact that he has so many builds in his mind games. And that just shows in game number 3 between Tasia and MC, like the mind games that he's able to execute. And I think Ben hit it on perfectly. Like he just doesn't have like a hesitation button. He just goes for it every time. Yeah. And I think that kind of stuff is really killer on Vibe.
You're making a really good point there that MC has so many builds. But if Vibe displayed us one thing yesterday or the day before in his games against Bishu, it is that he's perfectly capable of adapting in the middle of the game. He read the situations so well. And he was actually in some really dicey situations, guys. and I'm talking real diciness over here. Like where Bishu would go for an expand, but actually was 6-gating. Mind no guess, just warped in Zealots. And Ben said this, and I couldn't agree more. He said 97 out of 100 Pro Zergs would have died in that situation, just because it was really hard to see it coming. And it came so extremely quick. But Vibe just did almost everything right. And I really think that's one of the most important things that he has going for him while facing MC, that he's able to adapt on the spot, on the fly. Because when you play MC, you never know what's going to come. MC makes decisions, just you have no idea where it comes from, suddenly it happens. And if you're able to deal with that, anything might be possible.
I think the best way for Vibe to actually approach MC, because no matter what Vibe actually sees on MC, MC is going to play with that, because he's going to know that you know what he potentially can do. And that's what makes him so dangerous. He's able to really like counter your counters and think another level ahead. If I was in Vibe's shoes, I would actually just do a premeditated build off of 3-base, go for like 3-base no matter what mutas, and just go for it and try to apply pressure, because I feel like trying to play the mind game, trying to play the
chess.
Yeah, like preparing for these defenses, I don't think is the way to play against MC, because you end up getting outmatched every single time.
And I think the problem that MC presents, actually go ahead, Lauren, because you're raising your hand like you have a question.
I do.
What's up?
Hearing you like premeditate that, is it possible to overthink your plays?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
I think the real problem that MC presents is just, you look at every other Protoss in the world, MC can do the exact same thing that Oz does, that Bishu does, that Hero does, but MC is going to do it a little bit faster with a couple more units. It's almost uncanny how crisp and strong his timings are. Yeah. And I don't think that there's really a good piece of advice you can give anybody for going into a match against MC. It's just you have to outplay him the whole way. I think Vibe is a fantastic player. I don't think that that he's going to be able to beat MC next week.
I'm sorry, Vibe. We can collectively say we all love you, Vibe.
Yeah. USA champion.
Yeah.
I know.
Vibe has the best first name in the world.
Are you saying he'll take it?
I think Vibe's going to win.
Really?
Yes. I think Vibe's going to beat MC.
Let's gamble.
I was thinking that.
Gamble, let's do it.
I'll bet you.
What are we gambling on?
I'll bet you a pirate shirt for our cast.
A what?
A pirate shirt.
No.
Wow.
No,
Andre doesn't
no
actually want to lose
appearances.
anything.
I don't make bets about my appearances.
Okay, I'll bet you a pirate shirt for
$100.
Ben.
I bet you the Gangnam Style. I just want to see some
you
of
give
it.
I'll
me-
go in on that too, 100.
If you give me 3.5 to 1 odds, I'll do it.
Do
3.5
what?
to 1.
Yeah.
The Gangnam
Jeez.
Style?
Obviously, you're very confident in your boy.
Yeah,
Gosh.
you really.
Let's go ahead and jump over to Division
3.5 to
5, the only division that has not been played in Week 4 and the division that will not be played in Week 4. Unlikely hero standing atop the heat. Well, maybe not that unlikely. The Muslim undefeated in Division 5 continues to perform well in the North American Star
Why
League.
do you bet against this guy, man?
I don't know.
You are
every
so
week I say I'll
silly.
never do it again. And every
This
week
happened last season, too.
I
You're like,
know.
I think the Muslim's not going to make it this time.
Me betting on the Muslim is just like me playing poker. So
And didn't you?
my card's pretty bad. All in.
And didn't you do the same? Like you bet on him once with the Hasu Ops game, and then Hasu Ops ended up winning.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
time
The only
I did bet on it.
No, it's really
Oh.
cool to watch. I think when everything's right for Muslim, like when he's home, he's comfortable, his settings are perfect, where there's really nothing that can like throw him off his game. Muslim shows that, of course, he's always considered one of the best foreigner Terrans that are outside of Korea, and I think it's not really that big a surprise because in NASL he's always performed well, and I think those are kind of settings that really help him excel.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Ben at home is just often a different Ben than we see that has to travel to a tournament. Even now, every now and then you see a sparkle of brilliance when he's on LAN tournaments as well. We see the same the Muslim, but how great he can play on day 1 that can suddenly be completely gone at day 2. Or the other way around, he can be fantastic on day 1 and then the playoffs start and you're like, Ben, are you home? Like, Ben, what's going on? But Ben, like when he's actually really home, he's a fantastic player, and I am not so surprised to see him on top. I'm not sure if he's going to finish on top of the division because this division is really, really sick. But if Stefano keeps not showing up for his games, I do think that the Muslim can win this division. Even though his TVTs against MMA, that's going to get dicey as well. And Finale is a really strong opponent. But so far, so good. And the Muslim is also a player, once he has momentum going for him, he keeps getting stronger, man. If he's on a roll, he just keeps getting better and better and better. And it's going to be so hard for anyone in this division to stop him off.
I agree. I think Division 5 we kind of pinned.
Free for all? What?
Sorry, guys, we just
Yeah,
had some
sorry,
suggestions.
I was
of the-
sitting there talking and I got
Yeah.
interrupted by our producer. I wasn't sure. Division 5, I think, is we always picked as one of the hardest divisions to necessarily peg because we can make an argument for almost everyone to be like top 3 or 4 kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised to see the Muslim, but like at the same time, it's really hard to see someone like Stefano and Demaga and send like all these guys that are really, really good. Sorry. It's really hard to look at the screen, man, and try to talk to this camera.
I am
You're
surprised
trying to draw my
with,
attention away
with
from
Demaga
it, man.
a little bit, going 1 and 2. If you asked me in season 4, I thought he was going to be 3-0 or 4-0, to be completely honest. Especially how close the games were with Demaga versus Rotterdam. I mean, he almost took a couple games off of Rotterdam.
Yeah, he took one. That was a good job.
Yeah, almost.
I was
That's
impressed
right.
by Dima.
I was really impressed with that.
Yeah,
but
I know. I mean,
You think he has potential?
That's something to be proud of. You know,
Yeah.
I could see that there is more in Demaga that we haven't seen yet.
Exactly. So that's why I thought it was going to go 3-0, 4-0. But it's a little bit of a surprise that he's 1-2 right now.
I agree. I mean, I don't think we should look too much into the division standings yet of Division 5 as quite some games haven't been played yet. And once more, if you just tune in, guys, and you're wondering why we're watching these guys talk about games and we're not actually showing games, Division 5 is not going to happen today. Naitan just traveled from Korea. He lost his luggage, so he didn't have a keyboard. Well, an unfortunate chain of events in Sen versus QXC made sure that that wasn't possible. And a lot of things happened. You know, guys, and this is all because the Muslim is not playing. Because the Muslim is such a reliable factor in the NASL. He's always there.
Yeah.
He's always there. He's always winning.
Is
And
this his off week?
This is his off week, and everything goes wrong.
Oh, man.
Nothing goes wrong.
So I think it's safe to say that the Muslim is one of the key assets to the North American Star League.
Yeah. I agree.
So I think in a week or two we can actually draw much more conclusions out of the standings than we can do so far. But one thing is for sure that Stefano, he got a great paycheck out of the NASL last season. He won over $30,000. He of course had regular wins in the season as well, so it was more than $30,000. And if he keeps going like this, he's not even going to make it to the playoffs. Won't be able to defend his title. So it's time for Elias to start getting serious.
Oh. All right. Well, guys, that's going to do it for a little bit of the round table. I think we're going to come back. Where am I looking at? We're going to come back in a little bit, and we'll let you know what's going on. But until then, don't go anywhere.